The basement. It was a dark and stormy night, and Sarah was home alone. Her parents had gone out of town for the weekend, leaving her to take care of the house. As she sat on the couch watching a movie, she heard a strange noise coming from the basement. At first, she tried to ignore it, thinking it was just the wind. But the noise grew louder and more persistent. Finally, she got up to investigate. As she descended the stairs to the basement, she felt a chill run down her spine. The air was cold and musty, and she could barely see anything in the darkness. But she knew she had to keep going. As she reached the bottom of the stairs, she saw something move in the shadows. It was too dark to make out what it was, but she knew it wasn't human. She tried to turn around and run back up the stairs, but something grabbed her ankle and pulled her down. Sarah screamed as she hit the ground, and the thing in the shadows began to move towards her. She tried to crawl away, but it was too fast. As it got closer, she could see that it was a creature with long, sharp claws and glowing red eyes. She tried to fight back, but it was too strong. It dragged her towards the corner of the basement, where a door she had never seen before suddenly opened. The creature pulled her inside, and the door slammed shut behind them. As Sarah's screams echoed through the basement, the creature began to feed on her flesh. And as it did, she realized that she would never escape the horror that lurked in the shadows of her own home. The creature's grip on Sarah's ankle was tight, causing her immense pain as it dragged her towards the corner of the basement. She desperately tried to grab onto anything she could, but the creature's strength was overwhelming. As they reached the corner, Sarah saw the door for the first time. It was old and rusted, with peeling paint and a doorknob that looked like it could fall off at any moment. She had never noticed it before, and she wondered how long it had been there. The creature pulled her through the door and into a small room that was even darker than the basement. Sarah could feel the creature's hot breath on her neck as it began to feed on her flesh, tearing off chunks of her skin and devouring them. She tried to scream, but the sound caught in her throat. The pain was too much, and she could feel her strength leaving her body. She knew she was going to die. But then, something strange happened. As the creature continued to feast on her, Sarah felt herself changing. Her body was transforming into something else, something stronger and more powerful. She could feel her muscles growing, her senses sharpening, and her mind becoming more focused. It was as if the creature's attack had awakened something inside her that had been dormant all her life. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the feeding stopped. The creature had had its fill and was now backing away from her, its glowing red eyes staring at her in disbelief. Sarah stood up, her new body towering over the creature. She knew what she had to do. With a roar that echoed through the small room, she charged at the creature and attacked it with all her newfound strength. The creature fought back, its sharp claws slashing at her skin, but Sarah was too powerful. With a final blow, she destroyed the creature, its body disintegrating into dust. As Sarah stood there, panting and covered in blood, she realized that she had just discovered a new part of herself, a part that had been waiting to be unleashed. She knew that from now on, she would never be afraid again.